So we tore all the plastic and tape off. Canadian weather, things get dirty. We had plastic over the box. Then what we did is we papered up both doors so we could open and close them. The rest of the truck had plastic over it. And the reason we did it that way is because we wanted to paint up into here. So we had to be able to open the door, have this taped off, spray the rockers, shut the doors, and then spray the outside. On the outside, we basically went across this line here with our tape, so the cut and the clear is under. There's going to be a little spot right there. You can barely see it. There's a little bit of a clear coat line there because we had to run straight across. We weren't going to clear the whole fender, just to do the bottom. What you're seeing there is not drips. That's actually some oil coming out. We used some Rust Check oil, sprayed the bottom of the doors and the doors, and we filled up our rocker with dripless oil. And this stuff creeps really good. So hopefully it creeps in all the little crevices down below where our pinches are and all that. You know, that way any moisture gets down there. It's not just protected with the primer, but there's this oily gook in there. We drilled holes up here, one there, and then the same thing in the back door. We also went ahead and did the other side. We know there'll be rust in there, but you know, maybe he gets enough oil in and he never has to change the other side. You know, but maybe in a year, maybe in 5 years. So we don't know, but it's worth a shot. I noticed what happened with these trucks versus the older version of this trucks. There's an inner and an outer hollow in the rocker panels, and then there's a piece of reinforcement steel running through the middle. You know, it's probably for accidents and all that sort of stuff, reinforcement. But when you spray the back, usually there's holes through and it'll get up into the rockers. But with these trucks, they have two separate hollows. So the outside, it looks to me like it never got oil, where we could look through the inside and it was soaked with oil. So this should, this should be good now. We got the holes so he can oil it. Now Dodge does have a whole pile of little tiny plastic oblong plugs that go in the bottom of the rocker. It doesn't look like anyone pulled them out, and they look like the type of thing where like even though we cut our rocker off, some of them came out and then some of them just kind of broke apart. So that could be why guys don't pull them out. But this will work. This looks a little prettier to have it up here on the flat, and it's less intrusive. I would recommend though that people put them here if they don't mind, right in that flat spot here where the new one lies against. Now the reason I say that, you can just spray it in a little better. But if you go up top, just make sure you spray enough in that you're going to have enough in there to crawl around. We probably dumped like half a can in there. And people go, wow, that's like a waste. Well, a can's what, 15 bucks? It cost us $7. And I mean, we got a lot of it in there. It's you can see it dripping out the bottom and it's dripping out the door. So in behind this rubber here, we got a little bit of it up underneath. You know, you can see where somebody did the wax coating at one time. But nah, where he takes it now, it's like a dripless oil. So similar to what we use, probably a little thicker. But the stuff we used, for what we're doing, we're happy. We're good. We'll wipe up. You can see a little bit of oil running here. We'll wipe that all up. And again, I use the Rust Check dripless. Now on the back, we only painted down here where we fixed and let it blend, but we clear coated up to under this line. So that way, if there's a difference in the white, it's going to transition and you won't see it. I find the color code on these Dodges, this particular white, it actually matches really, really well when I use the paint code. But you got to understand that the clear coat gets dirty and yellowed and oxidizes over time. So if it looks a little brighter, it's probably because it is. Generally in 6 months, it'll look close enough you won't care. For instance, we did the bottom of this door. Well, even standing here, you can almost see where the two doors look different. We didn't paint that whole door. We just painted a spot down here, and we swept across here and a little bit up at the front to blend into our fender. Because we clear coated up to the line, but we only painted what we had repaired, which was way, way down. You know, you can see where the oil's dripping right above that, somewhere in that spot. We got a little dirt on there. We don't want to touch that. That came out after we had painted. And I don't know where it blew out from with the gun, but then all of a sudden that appeared. It came out of somewhere. So we're going to have to buff that off, but we're going to let it harden and dry for a few weeks. And I'll just have my buddy stop over and we'll buff that off. But anyway, so that's where we're at. We're pretty happy with that. Now I'm going to go grab some, I I got a little overspray here through the paper onto the mud flap. We had that sitting ahead, but we're gonna have to wipe that off with a little bit of gun wash, you know, thinner, and that'll come right off. So that's it. We went from rotten rocker to good rocker. Thanks for watching. Cheers.